just made a nice hot coffee. We're nearly there, not far to go now. And here is Steve, a slow boat through Britain, battling to put his washing out. He's a brave boy. Are you a sailing boat now, Steve?
Don't get the washing in.
We're just going to wind and moor up down there, mate. I don't think we'll get behind you.
I don't think you will.
No. Thanks for that. Again, sorry for the wind noise. I know a lot of people that watch the channel actually like the wind noise because it shows the wind speeds and what it's like. But as you can see, we're moored up at Audlam. I can hardly talk. We've got the last mooring here before the winding hole. It's the last legitimate mooring, so we are legally moored. I just hope people come and don't get hit into the back of chugs. But we'll see how it goes, folks. But we're moored up and we're thinking about taking the kids for a nice walk up to the top of the box. Pie from the honesty box there. But we'll see. Now I'm going in for another coffee. Good morning, it's Sunday the 27th of February and the sun's out. It's a bit breezy and it's a little bit cold, but all the dogs have got their leads on and Bella's in the boat. We're going to go for a walk up the locks and have a look at the honesty box at the top there. They sell pork pies, ice creams and lots of lovely things, pasties. So we're going to go and get something and perhaps have that for dinner. But stretch our legs because it's dry, so come with us. I've always loved Audlam locks. There's 15 locks all in all, and they bring you from the Cheshire Plain to the Shropshire Plain at a height of 93 feet. I'm sorry about the wind noise, folks, but I can't help the wind. In between locks 14 and 13, there's some residential moorings opposite the towpath side. And there are moorings here if you want to overnight, and there's a water point up by lock 13, just before lock 13. And of course, in between locks 13 and 12 as you go up the flight is the famous SHROPPIE Fly pub. It was a former warehouse. Unfortunately, it's closed at the moment. Oh, we've got a dog here, so there's bound to be barking. Oh no. Thanks. Yes, there is. Yeah, Chip, the Rottweiler. It's closed at the moment. They were looking for new managers, and I believe it's opening again on March the 14th. I don't know, by the time you see this, it may be open again, so that's good news. Always nice to see a canal side pub reopen. It's a very popular pub. Yeah, the SHROPPIE Fly, a very, very famous pub on the Shropshire Union Canal. And then of course you've got Audlam Mill, a well-stocked little shop full of canal side little bits and bobs. Always nice to have a walk around there. And as you walk up, you can notice the little hints of spring. It's lovely to see the flowers, the crocuses and the daffodils coming out. It's beautiful. Now, this next lock that we're coming to is lock 12, and it used to be famous for one thing, the bywash. It was the most dangerous bywash, I think, on the Shropshire Union, here and Turley. They're very, very powerful bywashers, but the CRT have put planks across to try and curb it a little bit, and it has helped. And they have put a plank to help you sort of bounce your boat in off, which certainly helps. And there you can see the bywash. That is quite calm, believe it or not, to sometimes how it is. And there, I don't know whether you can pick it up, but here's the plank that they put in, or the wood anyway, that you can sort of run your boat in off. And it does help. Just above Lock 12, you have got plenty of mooring here. There's residential mooring off the towpath, but if you want to come up and have a little bit of a break, you can. Now this lock is a riddle, and I have mentioned it on one of my vlogs previously. This is Lock 10 on the Orland fly. Now I'm just going to film Lock 10. I've got Dale here. He stopped walking for some reason. He got tired, I think. I'm going to film this lock here, and you have a look and see if you can see what's wrong. Towpath, and on the other side of the lock we have a stable. Every time I've brought chugs through here or walked up these locks, I've often wondered, how did the horse get to the stable? It's on the other side of the towpath. I can never work it out, unless of course it wasn't a stable, but it must be. It's got stable doors, it's got very high doors to enable the horses to go in. So whether they put a plank across, they may have just had a makeshift bridge to go across the lock to get the horses in. I don't know. Lock 10. The lock landing here at lock number 9 is a little bit bad. You can only get one boat on. All the side, as you can see, is fenced off here. It's all given way. And you've only got one dolly to tie up to here. And right opposite the bywash as well. Great fun. Yeah, little Dale's quite funny when we're on a walk. He'll be walking quite nicely, and next minute he'll stop. He has been checked by the vet and his legs are fine. Even though he looks quite bandy at the back, his legs are fine, but Chihuahuas are quite prone to having bad joints on their back legs. But his are quite strong actually. The vet actually said that they're stronger than Chip's, but he just gives in because he knows Daddy will carry him for a little bit. And quite honestly, I don't mind. And here we are now at lock number 7, right by bridge 77. As a single-handed boater, I've done these locks myself on several occasions, and believe it or not, they're not that bad. Oh, I just love those reflections. You see them regularly on the roof of the boat. Isn't that lovely? Magic of water. Yeah, the locks aren't that bad, to be fair. Even though there are 15 of them, they are quite shallow. They're not really deep locks, so they're quite easy really for a single boater to do. And obviously if they're all with you, in other words you don't have to set the lock, it's even easier. If you've got in fact in the summer it can be a lot easier because you've got a lot more boats, so inevitably as you're coming out of one lock, there's a boat coming out of the lock ahead of you, so you can just sort of keep leapfrogging each other. I can't get my words out today. And here at lock 4 you can see a lengthman's hut. A man will be given the job of looking after his own little stretch of locks. And they are throughout the Shropshire Union. Dale telling everyone off. Bridge 76 at lock 3. It's an interesting bywash. Doesn't that foam in the lock look lovely? Looks like coffee or drinking chocolate. I wouldn't fancy drinking it though. Just above lock 3 here, there's plenty of mooring, and it offers a lovely view too. Take a look. Yes, it's a beautiful view. And I know my friend Malcolm enjoys mooring here when he's coming down the Shropshire Union. I think during lockdown he spent a little bit of time here in this little honesty box or little honesty shop. There is a little fridge and they sell nice little tubs of ice cream, so that was the incentive to get the kids out of the boat this morning. For their mum and me, it's the pork pie. Oh, it's a lovely walk. Here at Lock 2, you can have a picnic and sit and watch the boats going through. Couldn't think of anything nicer on a lovely summer's day. Well, we're nearly there. To be honest with you, the thought of an ice cream is nice to me now. Shame there isn't a bar. Well, we're here at the last lock, but I want to point these out again to you. I have pointed them out in the past. They're to protect the brickwork. But can you see how the old ropes off the working boats are bit into it? With all the grit that were on the ropes. Yes, the grit and the mud and would have made the old ropes very, very coarse and brittle. And that's what makes it eat into the brickwork. And of course they put them protector strips to protect the bridges. Well, let's go and have a look what ice creams we've got. Here it is, a bridge one. Well, they haven't got a lot here today, unfortunately. But there's the tin, you put your money in. And there's drinks, if you want a drink. What's in the next one? Oh, ice cream. Bingo. Well, they've got a good stock of ice creams there. I'm going to go and have a look myself. So we've walked 93 foot upwards. Yeah, it's been an enjoyable walk and it doesn't take you long, easily within an hour. So if ever you're around the Oldham area, take the time and have a walk up. It's great. Right, I'm going to go and choose my ice cream.